can't nudge on. So Drew and the guys at D&J made, this is the new stage 4 intake that they came up with and designed. It's what we actually have on the S10 in the billet engine. But just to kind of show you guys, I know Drew has posted some about it, but so this is fully done, ready to go with the flange welded on it, and it has all the cross bolts in it. And this thing weighs right at, yeah, 11 pounds, 10.8, 11 pounds, and that is a full intake. Like, it is, and it's a, well, I forget exactly what it flowed, but it is a pretty badass little piece that they came up with. So if you're looking for a new intake, I do know a guy.
Trying to save some extra weight this year, so we're just going to go with a cardboard fuel cell, so that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to get a lot of the fab stuff knocked out today. Working on getting the gate pipe situated, which at this point is pretty much just going to be trimming those down and cutting out the hood to clearance for them. Working on finishing up the intake pipe here. We got the flanges and stuff welded onto the turbo last night. Doing that, and then we're going to be have to put in a new steering shaft support here, for being that there's more than one knuckle in the steering shaft. You need to support it so that it doesn't flop around. So getting that welded in, just really, yeah, a lot of little stuff building. We need to build a bracket over here where the water injection bottle is going to be over here where the fuel cell used to be. So we're going to move, that used to be out back, and now we're moving it up here. So we're just trying to move as much weight to the front of the truck as we can. So getting brackets built for that. I'm templating out the fuel cell. We're going to have a fuel cell sitting here in the front half of this, and the fire bottle is going to sit right behind it. So we need to get some bracketry in there to mount up the fuel cell as well. So just really a lot of little odds and ends fabricating projects.
So something that we do typically with a 4-link setup that's in a car and a truck, something that is kind of nice to do. So this is actually a doubler plate. So basically this goes on each side of the 4-link bracket. You get 2 plates, one on top, one on the other side, and these get welded on. And basically what that does is it allows less deflection in the 4-link bracket. Keeps all the hole, it basically makes the hole longer, so you're not going to have any problems with it either beating out or the hole getting wallered out. So that's something that we do, like in a a vehicle that's making a lot of power, something that it makes it more sturdy. So something kind of cool that we are putting in a certain project. But basically we have, I told you we had a new project coming, and it's here, but the owners don't really want anybody to know exactly what's getting done to it. Basically it's a car that is going to be running the LDR, the X class, like at Ducks races and stuff. So it is here. It is torn apart, and we're starting to work on it. That's what this is for, but we're not going to say anything about it. No pictures, nothing. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I think we're actually trying to knock it out relatively quick. So I think Lynn, actually I'm going to be gone for a week, so Lynn is going to have a joyful time getting it majority of the 4-link and everything set up with it, with the back half. So yeah, we have a lot to do and a very busy couple next weeks.
This is Tim Hall's 2006 automatic truck. He has 100% injectors. dual fuelers. He just added the dual fuelers and added a Taterbilt 6868. He's been on the dyno before with the stock CP3, stock turbo, and was making 630 horsepower. So now that he's got air and fuel, we're gonna see what kind of power we can make. So we will flash a revision into it and see what we can do. Here we were only making 38.3 psi, making 651 horsepower. Obviously, for the setup, not the power it should be making. So we adjusted the wastegate and made 65.5 psi, and blew the boot off and made 841 horsepower. So 65.5 psi is a little too much for the turbo, so I was in contact with Austin Tate, and I am going to make some more adjustments. I want to try to drop it about 10 psi, get it between 50-55 psi, and see if we can't make it happy. Alright, so after messing with Tim's truck, obviously we had the boot issue. We were also trying to adjust the wastegate to make more boost, so ultimately makes more power. It was only making 38.5 psi. So we were adjusting the wastegate, in other words, trying to keep the wastegate closed more, so that makes more boost and often makes more power. So we got it adjusted. It made 65.5 psi, which is too much, but it made 841 horsepower. So we went to adjust it, pretty much make the wastegate open a little bit more to turn boost down, and then we ran into a problem with the wastegate, the adjuster. Pretty much the wastegate just spins open. It never really seals shut. So he will need to get that fixed, and once he gets that fixed, he will come back. So we will see him hopefully here in the next few weeks.